Good morning, Dave Snyder here. It is the early morning, 29th of December 2016, and I got something that I got to show you here. This is pretty cool. Okay, so I'm on a internet looking at some just things that I've looked at before, and some things that I've haven't looked at close enough. The Redeemer statue, right, in Brazil, and I was going back to check the history of the builders and the reason they built it and all that stuff. I I thought I remembered something. It ended up not being there, anyways. But it doesn't matter, anyways. It's the same pose, the same arms out, always in white, and this whole list of other similar structures. Right, go through the whole list, and I saved a bunch of pictures. They're all mostly pictures of the same exact thing. The arms out, they're all pretty much the same thing, and they're all located in important places, really important places. Well, I got down to this Jesus de Greatest, and I shared that one. That one I thought was great. There's no picture of it. You don't see a picture of it on the Wikipedia, and I guess it's in Nigeria, and so you have to kind of look for it on Google Images. Jesus de Greatest. Okay, I love that name because I've been talking about that word "great" for a while. Anyways, go back here, and I got down to the last one, right? What caught my interest was West Papua and Indonesia. Basically down there by Papua New Guinea, where it's like paradise, but you got the Canadian miners in there exploiting all their resources and everything. Yeah, that place. The place is kind of up in the air about who. The UN runs that crap. They let everybody in. Those people don't want them there, but it doesn't matter. The UN won't help. The UN's part of it. They get those people in there. It's all big. They're all connected. The big guys, the mining companies that can afford to bring in the big equipment and just exploit everything. They're all tied in with them guys. So it's just a big, family or gang that we're not part of. But anyways, you click on this one, and they don't show you a picture of it either. Right? So you have to go look for it. So you copy and paste the name, and you go to Google Earth or Google Images, and you find it. And it's the same statue with the arms out and everything like that, right? Okay, so then I decide I need to find out exactly where this is located in Indonesia or New Guinea or whatever, either way you want to say it. So you have to find where that is. So I did that, I think. What did I do? I went to Google Earth, and I wanted to find out where it was. So there it is, right there. So I'm looking at this picture, and I'm going, okay, so there's a reason why that's located in this spot. You have to find that reason why that's there, because it is there for a reason, and it's there for the same exact reason that the one in Brazil is there. Same reason this one's here in Brazil. Okay, look at this. Look at it right in here. You can see it's right here. The statue is like right in here. But you can see this like round. You used to be able to see it better. There's you can see at least this edge of it. See the curve? Just remember that curve, okay? And the size of it, right? Just look at this spot from a distance, okay? There's a big round spot. It might even be this big round spot, but it's a round spot there. Trust me, there is. I've seen it in the weather absolutely perfect in the past. You just have to trust me on that part, because it won't ever show there again. Okay, so anyways, I'm looking, and I see this V. That's the first thing I noticed, and I said, well, I just got it. That could be the edge of, the Schrodinger pattern, which it's always the Schrodinger pattern when it comes to this, really. Okay, so here it is. I overlaid it, and I thought, okay, well, that must go right there. That part of this must go into that notch right there. And that's why the Jesus statue is there. Then you look at this, and you can see the curve here. I'm going to show you some more confirmation in just a minute. I'm going to confirm it in another way. I'm not saying that's perfectly matched there, but I can assure you it's more than likely what you're seeing there. And then look here. You got Guam. Look at the shape of Guam. Okay, you see that curved area there? It's not very far off. If I move this up there, it fits right there perfectly. I promise you. Where do all the typhoons seem to start? And what are they shaped like? Okay, That ties that together. And then let me show you something else that I discovered the other day. This is an overlay that I did a long time ago, but I noticed something the other day, and so I copied it, and I got the original up there, way up my list. This is from way up my list. A couple years ago, probably did this overlay at least, and it's but I noticed something when I was looking at it the other day, and that would be this, like this line right here. See this line, kind of. Okay, well, I mean, I was close already, but I kind of lined it up like that. You see, and then I started to see everything fall into place. Really nice. I think this is a more accurate alignment than the way I had it. And it answered right away. It answered my questions about the earthquakes, that were happening there and popping right here in these islands, Solomon Islands or whatever, right in this area, right in the heart of that overlay. Okay. And it might be a little bit oversized, but not much, because you see how this weather fits right inside the little New Caledonia area there. See that? Okay. And just watch it go around the outside. You can see around the outside, the line comes down to Papua New Guinea really well. This weather pattern is showing you something. And that puts the same, because this typhoon is the same thing as I just showed you in that picture of this here. This is the lunar South Pole pattern right here. This is no doubt the lunar South Pole pattern, and this is from the lunar South Pole. This crater is. This whole pattern is the lunar South Pole pattern on the moon, and it's not oversized. This pattern that shows the moon is bigger than they say. That's the only way. And you see, like this little dark spot right here. That's usually part. It's like the eye somewhere. It's part of this eye part of this. Of every hurricane and typhoon, pretty much, except for the ones that are obviously. I mean, there's obviously the. I could also put this inside of Mare Moscovians as well. This pattern will fit in there too. So I'm just saying, it's like important. This is an important discovery. That little notch in Papua New Guinea. That is really. I've had other things line up in the same spot just recently. I don't remember what it was, but it's not too far up my list that showed another part of that notch really well. But there you go. Take a look at that weather pattern where I put it there. Just take a look. I mean, right here, your Himalayas. Look, right here, is the Himalayas curve, and right here is Australia. That's the same curve as you see in Australia. So it's this whole neighborhood here. Like I pointed out before, the mother hole is right here in the Pacific. Everything's been here. Every continent has been here. When they talk about the land bridge that goes where people came from Asia into America, that's it. They didn't have to go all the way around like that, because everything was here at one point in time. There was a supercontinent, and it was built right here, or with this area. Okay, it was built here. This typhoon is related to this crater on the moon, which shows every time you see a statue of Jesus Christ, basically in any location, this crater has something to do with it. That's just the way it is. I mean, that's the way I've seen it so far. You can go back to the Wikipedia or whatever and look at that list and go through it. And I'll guarantee you, you put this crater with the area that thing is located, and you're going to see this crater fit somewhere in that area. Why would they make that? Why would they make up something like that? You know what I mean? They try not to let you see it. In the weather, they've taken the weather away. You will not see weather like this anymore available to you, unless you get lucky somehow. You won't see it, unless you use like old images of hurricanes or whatever. You will not see it. Not like that. Only in the news or wherever. And if you can find it, I really would appreciate it. A link to that site where you can find good weather, because I know I've been looking at it every day, the weather in various locations on the internet, and I've seen it disappear. I've watched it incrementally disappear from our site. Not only mine, but you won't be able to see it either, unless you've got connections to a good site. And like I said, I appreciate it greatly. If anybody finds something, a site like that shows weather that's up to date throughout the day, that shows the whole planet's weather, not just parts of it, in a detailed, any kind of detail, I would really want to see that. So anyways, I don't want anybody to take this, offensively or anything. I'm just saying that's why this statue is here, because this goes here. And it's right there. It's either this part of this, yeah, it has to be this part, because this part matches this part of Indonesia. You can see that curve is there. No doubt about that. That's the same thing. That is the same thing. And we know that Papua New Guinea is being exploited for its riches completely. I've already pointed out that this area right here, there's that one part, that one shiny bright spot on the moon, that big crystal. I mean, it's like the brightest crater that we can see. I can't remember the name of it. It's by Kepler or something. I can't remember. It's close to Kepler. But it hits right here, or it does something right here, and this is where all they're mining all that gold, exploiting all the gold in this country here. I mean, you can look at this place; it's like paradise. Jungles. It's totally, I don't know. It's probably not totally, untouched now. Obviously, they're mining all this stuff, mining it all, tearing it up. So, anyways, wanted to point that out. The other day, figuring that out, moving that picture was a really good thing. Helped me understand why those earthquakes were happening in this area. They were big ones, and I understand why they're happening in that location. Clearly, I know that crater goes there. I now know that it also goes there, and it goes there. And I'm not saying it hit every location separately or anything. I'm not even saying it hit. I know it had to hit one location at least, right here. I think it hit here, but then I don't know, it moved. You can see the trails in the weather that it moved. The moon was either sitting on the earth, and that's why all these statues are showing Jesus ascending, basically with his arms out. That's how he ascended into heaven. That's why all these statues show him with his arms out, ascending. So maybe he lifted and came back down or something a bunch of times. I don't know. He could have just came up a little bit and came back down a little bit. There's a lot of different things you can imagine without, actually getting the full scale of what is available, what we should be able to see. It'd be hard to get that story, but I mean, the actual full detail of it, I don't think it exists really, because we're so limited to that. I mean, they have perfect images of the Earth surface and perfect images of the lunar surface that they've been able to use to their advantage to find gold in places where you couldn't just otherwise would just get lucky to find it. They seem to be able to pinpoint it with pretty good accuracy and just lay claim to it immediately, and somehow get in there and exploit these places without the UN or anybody stepping in and saying, "Hey, you can't do that. That's this is their country," or whatever, because these people don't want them there. It's they put people in power that are total puppets so that the people can't do shit, and they think they are elected in there. And really, they're not given a choice of who can be elected. They're just put in there. You get just like we have the choice of two evils or whatever. Both people are paid off and are working for them, and it don't matter which one you pick. They're both gonna fucking screw you in the ass, and that's just the way it happens in America too. The same thing. People don't think that, but that's the way it is. I mean, you vote. It didn't matter who you voted for. They're still going to screw us just the same. It don't matter, Hillary or Trump. And I know people think that the system still works, but the UN runs the system. They totally run it, and they run this place too. Clearly, they run this place. You can read that. There's a thing in the UN paper, like a thing about this place, and you read it, and you just right away they've got control of the entire place, just like they do America. I mean, really, if it's really pretty clear that they took over America at the creation of the UN. I can see that clearly. But anyways, I wanted to point that out. That's a good one. That's informative, I think. It just fit right in there. As soon as I seen that notch, I thought about it for a second. I was like, oh, yep, it's got to go there. Put it there. The curve was there. I tried the other way, putting it this way, with the Columbia spot, what I call the Columbia spot right there. And it just didn't, fit with all this here. So I think this is the proper alignment with this cut right here. So anyways, make of it what you will. As I always say, thank you for watching. It's just information. Don't kill me.